Welcome, everybody, to the Mortgage Loan Officer Podcast. I'm your host, Frank Garay, and we are brought to you by the Mortgage Marketing Animals. Today, I want to go over something that I feel like we should talk about after coming back from the Freedom Club event that we just had in Nashville, Tennessee, here in November of 2022. There's something that I picked up there that I think is worth talking about. And we're going to do that right here, right now on the Mortgage Loan Officer Podcast. Thanks for joining me today. I'm solo today, which is fine. It's all good. I wanted to get something out for us all. And it was something that I really saw very clearly that I really haven't seen that clearly before from an event. And this time it really stood out. And it was sort of spawned, if you will, or I was inspired to think of this through a presentation that was actually given by Kevin Gillespie, who runs the Branch Manager Academy. If you've ever been to a Freedom Club event, it typically starts on a Monday with what we call Branch Manager Academy, where you don't necessarily have to be branch manager, but it's mostly branch managers that show up. And Kevin Gillespie, of course, has several guests and has his own presentations, and they really go through what can be very helpful for us as branch managers, no matter what the market is. And of course, here in November of 2022, we know we have an interesting market. And as always, it was fantastic. One of the things that he brought up, though, was pointing out the benefits of coaching. And he likened it to a study that was done that showed that, sometimes when people are faced with physical ailments that actually threaten their lives, and they have the opportunity to correct those ailments simply by making lifestyle changes, the study concluded that, you won't even believe this, that 90% of the people who are told, hey, you've got to quit smoking or drinking or whatever it is, otherwise you're going to die, or eating, improperly, maybe if you're diabetic. Otherwise, you're going to wind up killing yourself. You're literally going to die. And the study found that typically about 90% of the people that are faced with these literal life or death decisions, they fall back into the very practices that they were told to avoid in order to preserve their life. So they know it's going to kill them. And yet 90% of them decide not to make the change that they need to do in order to preserve their life, and go back to the very habits that are going to, more than likely bring their demise. However, conversely to this, when people faced with those same ailments wound up in support groups with other people, and I think it was 95% of them, were able to make the corrections, something like that. It was a very high percentage that of those people were able to make those lifestyle corrections to preserve their life. So the support group was really, really huge for these individuals, in order to have the ability to make those changes. And those changes can be difficult, right? They can be tough, especially if it's an addictive situation or something like that. So he likened coaching to support groups. And while I was there through the whole event, I was there for the full 3 days, I was really taking note of that after he mentioned that. And I realized that, wow, we're experiencing this in much the fashion that he was hoping to convey it, in that we were all together. There was over 300 of us there. And as the event went on and I was able to engage with more and more individuals that were there, it was wonderful, meeting all kinds of new people and talking to them about business and life and what have you. But as I progressed through the event, it really became apparent that, wow, what a great community that we have in the Freedom Club. It's just a remarkable, remarkable community / support group. It's coaching. Yes, it's coaching, yet it's community. What do I mean by that? Well, here we are, we're with these 300 people, And by the way, the vast majority of these 300 people in the Freedom Club are doing quite well right now in this market in November of 2022. Some of them astounding results. Some of them their best years that ever. They're their best months ever. And I'm not talking, hey, I went from 1 to 3. I'm talking I went from 10 to 40, right? Or I went from, 15 to 50, right? So big results. But a lot of it was just because there's this community. These people were sharing what they were doing with everyone and, giving them the goods, if you will, not being competitive, I'm not going to tell you. I'll gladly tell you. We're all in this together. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. There was this overwhelming sense of we're all in this together, and it genuinely felt that way. I mean, it was real. It wasn't fake at all. It was real. That group of 300 and something people, it was just a truly, for lack of a better word, a truly righteous group of people that were there not to condemn each other or look down upon each other in any way or judge anyone or anything like that. Everyone was there to uplift each other and support each other. So I felt like I wanted to talk about the benefits of being connected to this kind of a community. I'd rather call the Freedom Club a community than a coaching program, right? I think coaching, that word coaching can sometimes give us a weird connotation in our mind about it, or something possibly even negative. I hope not, but I think sometimes it can. But if we look at it as a community, well, then, maybe that kind of puts our mind in it, puts coaching in a better light in our mind if we view it as a community, if it indeed truly is a community, right? Which the Freedom Club is. It is a genuine community. There's a lot of advantages to being connected to a support group / community, if you will, in the mortgage industry. Number one, if we're connected to the right community, for sure, Freedom Club. And I'm not going to say there's others out there, that there's no other one out there like the Freedom Club. Sure, I'm sure there are. But this is the one that I have firsthand experience with. And so in Freedom Club, so this one I can guarantee you have this. But in Freedom Club, if you get connected to the community there, one of the things that I think happens right away is as we start to work with a coach and get involved with the community and get involved with other Freedom Clubbers, is we tend to start to have a better understanding of what in the heck we're doing this for. I think that's one of the most important things for us is we really get a true understanding of why am I here? Why am I in this industry? What am I doing? What's my purpose in it? What's my end goal? What's my end game? What am I after? And I would say that's one of the biggest things that you'll get by getting attached to a solid, genuine community, coaching community, hopefully, within the mortgage industry. I think it's kind of the starting place is, they say the why, right? What's your why? It's not just a catchphrase or some silly worn out phrase. It's genuinely real. Why? Why am I doing this? Right? What's the purpose of everything? And that's really important. And I could see that in everyone at the event. I shouldn't say everyone. I could see that in a lot of people. A lot of the people that I spoke to, they had a definite purpose in the industry. They knew what they were doing. They had a plan. Most importantly, they had a clear path to get to this purpose. So I guess, another benefit to the community would be definitely having the plan, right? The path to get to the desired outcome. But having the design, knowing what the outcome is really important. What is my purpose? Why am I here? And you'll get that if you're in a good community, right? With other like-minded people. I think the other real benefit to it is you're not going to be alone. You don't have that feeling of being stranded on a desert island all alone, trying to figure everything out on your own, right? Trying to figure it all out by yourself. You're not alone. You're with a lot of people. You can instantly engage. Freedom Club, anyway, you can go into the Facebook group or what have you, or come to the events or whatever the case may be. Instantaneously, you're surrounded by people who care, who are just like you, who've been there, who've done that, who probably have an answer to whatever your question is, have a solution to your challenge, whatever that might be. You're not alone. And there's something really great about that. I find that with a lot of originators, because I have a lot of conversations with them, sometimes within their own companies, there's really not a sense of community, right? There's the infrastructure's there, the administrative stuff is there, the pricing is there, the software is there, all that stuff is there, but there's not a real sense of community. There's not a real sense of oneness among everyone. And so, it's really important to connect yourself to an organization where you can have that sense of community and not feel like you're all alone. I also feel that a real big benefit to being in a community such as Freedom Club is that, how do I say this? Your skills in interacting with your referral partners and with your clients improves. There's an improvement in how you communicate because you're in this community with others who have learned how to communicate in a more effective, pleasing way with their referral partners and their clients to where it works out to their advantage. And what I mean by that is we're not taking advantage of anybody. I mean, it works out to their advantage is that they just become better communicators, right? They become better communicators. And when you become a better communicator, things go smoother. That's just the way it is. And one of the things that I noticed from the Freedom Club event was that when it came to talking about how we communicate with clients and how we communicate with our referral partners, it was remarkable to hear, the different ways that can be accomplished to where it just made us better communicators. So to be joined to this community, we became a better community. We're better communicators. It's just our communication skills definitely improve. The other thing I think that's real beneficial to becoming a part of a community like Freedom Club is that we can see the light at the end of the tunnel, right? We become more hopeful. And it's not, when I say hopeful, like hope is not a strategy. I mean, believe me, that is not the strategy in Freedom Club. There's a very succinct plan, very succinct activities, very clear, team member job roles that we have well established within the community that help us put together a thriving team with great activities. But I think when we see that we have all of those things, that inwardly, because we're connected to this community, we can see the light at the end of the tunnel where it's not some, I guess hope isn't the right word. It's, I have a clear path, right? I know I'm going to hit my goal. I know I will. Because I know what I'm doing works and I'm experiencing it and others are experiencing it. And we're talking about it and I'm seeing it in others. So therefore I know this will work. I have hope in it. I have confidence, I think is a better word. It instills confidence that I'm going to hit my goal. I think that's a better word for it. So being part of the community definitely helps in that regard. And then I think the other side effect of that, having that extreme confidence, knowing that, okay, I'm with a bunch of like-minded people who are brilliant, who are doing incredible things. I'm working the same plan. I have the same path to my desired outcome and my desired goal, right? I can communicate really well. I'm feeling like I've got that confidence in hitting my goals and achieving whatever it is that I wanted to achieve, which is why I'm here. I think just naturally overall, we have a reduction in our stress level, because we know what to do. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. We naturally have a reduction in our stress level. Stress goes down. I think if I'm an originator who feels all alone, stranded in the middle of nowhere, and I'm just popping around on Facebook here and there and trying to pick up a strategy here and there, I don't think my stress level goes down. I think I'm still worried about the next deal. Does that make sense? I'm still worried about the market, or I'm worried about the next deal, or whatever the case may be. But when you're involved with a community like the Freedom Club, man, oh man, I think the stress level drops tremendously because, okay, I can see the plan. I can see the picture. I'm looking at other people in the community who have put it together, and I'm seeing what they're doing and seeing the results and going, oh my gosh, that's amazing. It's tangible, right? It's not like there's some magic thing that those people have going on. No, it's the same plan that everybody else is working. We're all working the same plan together. It's just some are further along. That's all. They're just further along than me. And so since I know, hey, they're just further along, my stress level goes down. Right. It just goes down. I don't have as much stress because I have the confidence and I have the plan and I have my direction and I know what I'm doing and I have the support of others to help me get there. I think another benefit too of community is that we get a better understanding of ourselves. We get a better understanding of who we are. And what I mean by that is when we're able to watch others in the community that are thriving and doing well, and we can see that, that person isn't the one taking the loan app or structuring the deal. What? Right? Is that really possible? I think we get a better understanding ourselves in the fact that, we can really come to grips with what we're truly good at. We can really come to grips with the things that we love to do, right, within the industry, that the things that make us the money. It just is a better understanding of us and how we fit into the puzzle of our team. And I think when we have a better understanding of who we are and what we're really good at and what we thrive at, right, then we have a better possibility of structuring our team in such a way that, again, the end goal is achievable. It's absolutely achievable. I just think we get a better understanding of ourselves, of who we are, if we're in a good community of like-minded professionals that are all willing to work with each other. It definitely helps us understand who the heck we are. It gives us a better understanding of who we are in the puzzle of things. And I think finally, I think one of the, to wrap this thing up, I don't want to go on too long, but I think one of the biggest benefits of being in a community like the Freedom Club, being connected to all these individuals and to your coach in the Freedom Club, is it gives us the ability to help other people. It puts us in a position to where, hey, maybe I came into the Freedom Club a year ago, and the distance that I've traveled from the day I joined to today, the accomplishments that I've achieved are at a certain level. But for someone who's coming in brand new, even though I've only been in a year, I can help that person come at least to where I am, right? I can be instrumental in helping other people. There's something crazily gratifying about helping others. And I know we all experience that, at least if you're, a genuinely decent person. I think we all like being to help. I guarantee you have never, I bet you, I shouldn't say that. I'm betting that you listening to this right now have been in a position, if you've had any experience in the mortgage industry, where you've had the opportunity to help someone along and you've done it, right? Because you can, because you like to share your experience. You like to share your knowledge, and you should. It's important to do that. Well, being in a community like Freedom Club gives you ample opportunity to do that, because we're all looking to help each other. We're just all looking to help each other out. We're all looking to grow. We're all working off the same plan. We're all working, off the same path, along the same path, right? We may have different reasons for it, but we're all in it together. And so we all help each other. It affords us the opportunity to help other people, which last time I checked, nothing but good comes from that. That's last time I checked, nothing but good comes from that. So anyway, that's my big thing for today. I was just so impressed when Kevin shared that stat. I was like, wow, that's interesting. And then I had the few days to just really look around the room and understand what we had going on there. I was like, wow, this is really, really, really special. The individuals here are just so wonderful. And I don't know. I just wish, I've been in this industry for 35 years, maybe more. I don't know, 35 years at least. And I just wish everyone could experience it, I guess. I just wish everyone could experience it because it's so great and it's so helpful. And we sat at this event. I listened to several speakers that are Freedom Clubbers that are having extraordinary months, extraordinary closings here in November of 2022. Like unbelievable. And they're up there sharing with everybody, even making themselves available. Like, come talk to me, I don't know. It's just really cool. If you're not part of a community, a coaching community, man, I really wish you would be. I really would suggest it. I'm not going to say we're the only ones out there. There's plenty of them out there, I'm sure. But I will say, I know that the Freedom Club is a community of genuinely awesome, and for lack of a better word again, just good, righteous people that genuinely care, who are committed to their business, focused. They're in it for real. They're not in it just for, kicks and giggles in this industry. No, they're in it for real. They're in it to really do something notable, do something special for their families, creating legacies for themselves. I mean, if that's something that resonates with you as an originator, if that's where you want to be, man, I can't recommend, Freedom Club enough. It's incredible. So with that, I'll get out of here. I hope you guys have an absolutely wonderful day and a wonderful week. I'll be back next week, of course. I'm not sure what it'll be next week, but I'm sure it'll be riveting and amazing. So, yeah, I just hope you guys, can find a community, man. And I would extend my hand out to you and say, please have a look at us at Freedom Club. That would be great. You can get there. Just go to mortgagemarketinganimals.com. I would also tell you to come and check us out at Loan Officer Breakfast Club. If you want to kind of get a taste or a sense of flavor of who we are at Animals and Freedom Club, man, come to Loan Officer Breakfast Club. It's absolutely free, no cost whatsoever. It's a live coaching Zoom call with hundreds and hundreds of originators Monday through Thursday from 8:30 a.m. to 9 a.m. Eastern time. You can find the group on Facebook as well, but it's better to be on the live Zoom call because you'll really get a sensibility of what we got going on over here. And you'll see the wins and hear the wins, and it'll just be very, very inspiring for you. It really, really is. So with that, I'll go ahead and get out of here. You guys have an absolutely fabulous, fabulous week, and we'll catch up with you next week right here at the Mortgage Loan Officer Podcast with me, your host, Frank Garay. See you later. Bye-bye.